Good news. It is our turn to pick again, finally. So that's what we're going to do. What's up, Harry Max Sports Network? What's up, Akash? How's it going? Welcome to the stream, guys. Let me get my cute little graphic over here to get that going and look all professional. There we go. Now we're all professional on Instagram. Cool. Let me get my
I guess your correspondence with Melon worked because you didn't have any issues tonight. That's good.
Yeah, it actually worked. Our streaming one did. We ran a couple updates on everything and contacted their support team and they helped me out. So their support team is really good. Melon is our streaming service and they help us out quite a bit. I like it. So Akash is over on our YouTube.
Akash is on YouTube. Going, I'm sure he's over here to
hey Jay Green,
criticize our pick when we make it.
What's up, man? Yeah. Yeah, he probably is on here to do that. That's
I'm kidding, really Akash, man.
Yeah, we made it past that. Cool.
Glad you're over here, though. I'm glad you're over here.
I'm trying to.
Let's see where did we leave off last time?
I ain't doing what I want to do, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, okay. I don't know where we left off last time. I think we've made 2 more picks since the last time.
I don't think we made. I think Dak Prescott was our last streamed pick.
Nah,
I'm pretty certain
we did. Okay, well let's start back there then. That's cool.
Because we did Davis and St. Brown Saturday, and then the other 2 yesterday.
No. We did Davis and St. Brown.
Might have been Friday while we were out then with Mom.
Maybe let's just start from there, but let's do it quick because these guys want us to pick.
Well, let's make our pick and then recap while X Factor's picking, yeah?
Cool. Yeah, I'm really cool with that. So, who are we going to pick here? Let's see. Akash said, "Is that my reputation now?" Kind of. No, honestly, not completely, but we're going to give you crap for it. Yeah, we're gonna tease you on that one for quite some time.
Yeah,
we'll hold it over your head for sure.
We're not the type to let something go when we can tease you about it, but
absolutely,
we're just busting your balls.
There is no fun in just letting that go.
No, absolutely not.
Thing off of my, I've got like a menu on my screen here that won't go away. Okay. Anyways, gosh, we're just fiddle farting around here. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's get to business. Woo, that was a good intro.
Yes.
So, looking at our team here, we have running back, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback, another running back, then went bam, wide receiver, and then a second tight end, which was funny because FFX Factor then was like, guys, like, you took another tight end. He still hasn't taken a tight end yet. At that point, there were other teams too. There were probably 4 other teams that hadn't taken a tight end. And he's like, guys, just promise me you won't take a third tight end before my turn comes up.
Which is not a promise that we made.
Well, no, I literally said, I promise you, like, no promises that won't happen.
And thus, here we are.
And surprise league, we're picking another tight end.
Yes, another tight end that we like that's really young. And when you're looking in the running backs and receivers that are here, there's a handful of tight ends that are going to be way better flex options this season.
Absolutely.
Than they are. Agree. So it makes more sense in the near term, but this is a guy that also kind of makes sense in the long term, depending on what happens in New England. And our man is Jonnu Smith with New England.
Yeah, boy, we are taking Jonnu Smith, tight end. We are taking a third tight end before X Factor even gets his first. Also, let's be honest, we're trolling a little bit. It's a little bit of a troll.
A little bit.
And yeah. So we're trolling a little bit. Plus, like, when you're this deep in, you're looking at those flex spots. You know, there's still a ton of wide receiver talent out there. A lot of dart throws. So, like Jonnu Smith, he's young and good. I mean, and he may not be great this season. I think Hunter Henry is way overrated. and I think they'll be running a lot of 2 tight end sets. And Kyle made a good point earlier. As soon as they move over to Mac Jones, I mean, I think they're going to be lighting up a little bit. So, and let's not act like Cam Newton doesn't throw to tight ends. I mean, Greg Olsen had a great career there with Cam Newton. So, he throws the tight ends. And if they're going to set it up, I mean, they went and got Jonnu and Hunter Henry for a reason. Mm-hmm. So obviously they want to run some 2 tight end sets there, and I think that's fine. I mean, it's not like they're wide receivers or anything super special. So
no, they don't have a ton of talent at receiver. I wouldn't say not all their talent is at quarterback or at tight end now. So
yeah, so I like that pick. Plus, okay, let's talk a little strategy here. In this kind of league, you have to. We've talked about this to the end of the world. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to harp on this. That this tight end position, if you don't have one of the top ones, you're at a huge disadvantage. If you're picking up, I mean, if you're playing the number 16, if you're the last person to get a tight end, you're picking up the number 16 tight end and you're playing them every week, you're struggling at your spot. Now, because we've now taken 3, because we're kind of jerks.
We're jerks.
Now we've taken 3 tight ends before someone's even taken 1. We have a huge advantage over them because of their disadvantage. Now, mind you, the bottom 3 teams in this league will not be in it next year. They will be replaced by 3 other pages. And guys, we ain't trying to be one of those teams.
No, not at all.
So, not looking to be one of those teams. So these guys that are settling for these other tight ends down here, they're going to struggle on bye weeks. They're going to struggle in case of injury, anything of that sort, or just not having a tight end. They're going to be rolling out the number, however many tight ends have already been taken. I mean, look at all these orange squares, and they're picking from what's left. Because they're going to be practically a player down every week to start off. I mean, that's a horrible spot to be in from the get-go. You're at a huge handicap. Mm-hmm. But luckily for us, we might have some tight end talent to spare, and that might just be worth trading for.
And keep your head on a swivel. We might still take a 4th at some point.
We're not against taking yet another tight end.
Only if it makes sense. Just throwing
that out there.
Only if it makes sense.
If it makes sense. There's some other guys out there in other positions that we're looking at, but it, who's to say? X Factor now. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a really mean message from him yet. Of just like a bunch of curse words. Let's see. Akash
asking about Trotman.
Hold on. Let's do this really quick before you get over on Trotman. Akash asks he says HH is a PPR guy, Hunter Henry. Jonnu is the TD guy. Hey, I'll take some TD guys. Either one. Hunter Henry's already gone. So if there's a tight end or if there's a touchdown heavy person there, I will take it. Well, I mean, not by heavy, I mean dependent. I mean,
even if Jonnu
what you mean.
Yeah, even if Jonnu gets a handful in the middle of the field and outside the red zone, he's made some big plays before when he was with Tennessee and stuff. Like he can still score TDs and long plays.
And let's be honest, Hunter Henry has the possibility of getting hurt. So,
what's up, James? What's up, dude?
Hey. Jonnu, the one to own in New England. I actually kind of agree with that. I think Hunter Henry is overrated, but that is what it is. Okay, let's get over here to Showtime Cadets. He asked thoughts on my Trotman pick. Kyle, thoughts, Trotman. Go.
Honestly, I don't know that much about him, which tells me it's probably not a great pick.
Here's my issue. I don't know a lot about him, but I mean, he is possibly going to start into a starting role with the Saints, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
no, but with Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston throwing in the ball,
did Jameis Winston throw to tight ends? And I mean, Jameis Winston still threw the ball. Granted, a lot to the other team, but he still threw the ball in Tampa.
But not that much to tight ends compared to some of these other ones.
I mean, Brait and Howard did decent. I mean, if one was getting all of those, but I think he's going to be fine. I just don't know much about him, so I really can't
I don't
judge
either.
the pick that well, if I'm being honest.
I mean, this
But
late,
I think he's going to be fine.
this late, I think it's fine. When you wait this long for a tight end in this deep of a league, like you could have done worse.
I would agree with that. I think he
So,
could have done a lot worse.
Like, I don't hate it. It wasn't a pick I would have made.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have either, but that's because
Gosh, we don't
know
claim to be
anything.
experts, man. Like,
oh hell no, I ain't no expert on nothing.
this is
honestly like, yeah, it's all my opinion. I would say Akash definitely looks at stuff a lot deeper than I do. Yeah, I mean, last year I wasn't going off of anything but my gut all last season, but I won 4 out of my 4 leagues. It doesn't work on my DraftKings quite as much. I tried that. I should probably research a little bit more for that.
It doesn't help. I research the crap out of DraftKings, and I still lose every week. So
that's kind of like our March Madness brackets. You research crap out of it, still end up getting beat by the girl in the office picking everything by, ooh, that's a cute mascot, or I like their colors, and yeah.
Well, we did the March Madness thing for our Roll Tide Gauntlet, and I didn't research anything at all and ended up second. So
yep, I didn't research anything on ours this year and got first in that. So it seems, yeah. So, oh yeah, Showtime Cadets. That was my small but subtle brag there. Just casually flex going 4 for 4. Hannah,
totally.
Dude, and honestly, that's not normal for me. I'm going to be completely honest with everyone right now. Before then, I had been playing. This was my 10th season playing, and I had won a total of 1 championship in all my leagues combined. Sometimes playing up to 4 leagues a year. So went 4 for 4. 2020 was a strange year for everyone, and that's just proof of it.
You had to wait for a COVID year to win. So
yeah, I went a little weird. Though I stopped really paying attention to rankings. I just went off of my gut, kind of what I knew, and it worked out for me quite a bit. So made sure to get some depth that got me through the season, got me into a good spot, and then made some late season trades that got me some all-stars and made me there, or got me there. So, and then all of my leagues scored much differently. So I was able to have those crossovers between the players, and I had a lot of crossovers, and it just happened to work out that my the players I was playing against and my standard scoring helped me out in my PPR and stuff. Like, there's just a lot of crossover there that off of different scoring systems that just made it happen. It was super lucky. And I even beat a guy who was playing Alvin Kamara against me and ended up beating him. So it was the only reason he was close to me, but my kicker beat him on Monday Night Football, which was a delightful win.
The only reason you won is because you weren't playing me this time.
Yeah, I had made it to the finals in that league another 4 times and lost to Kyle every time on some BS on a couple of them. But hey, that's not the point.
That's the game.
We're not here to brag about you, Kyle. We're here to brag about me. Anyways,
I want to
James says, telling the pick is great, so he just sticks with him. Yeah, I agree. Troutman, amazing. Stick with him. Don't even need a backup. If I'm being honest, he'll take you to the championship. Well, no doubt about it. Good call there, Omaha. I agree.
Speaking of James and tight ends, though, I just want to point out he gave us a hard time for sniping Higbee from in front of him in the other draft, and ended up with him in this one. The love for Higbee is real from Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha loves him.
Omaha, set.
Still willing to do a deal in our other league.
Higbee. Yeah, we still got him. I mean,
yeah. So
he tried to play it down like, "Oh, I don't want him that bad," but he does, and he will. He'll come for him.
He just gave himself away. So X factor here, he's going to tight end. He's probably cussing right now because now he's kind of being forced to go tight end, and now he's having to research tight end, and so that's probably taking a little bit. So he'll probably go tight end here. Hopefully, we get 2 kind of quick picks, and we can make our second pick while we're on stream here. I mean, we've only been on for less than 15 minutes now. So, Kyle, let's kind of recap from the last time we got on here, kind of go through some of these picks and see why we're down here picking a third freaking tight end. in the 9th round.
Yeah. Oh, there he went. He actually just picked Brady. Actually,
he got his first quarterback. Yeah, we were just about to do that. Tom Brady. So he went with some
and Logan Thomas. Okay, we're up. We'll recap after our pick.
Nice. So he went exactly what we had suspected. We suspected he would go with a tight end quarterback combo right there, and he did exactly. It's like we had a crystal ball, or it's because he didn't have either of those positions.
I can totally see in the future. I can see the future. It's okay.
So I'm not surprised by that Logan Thomas pick. I mean, probably next on my list as well, if I'm being honest. The Tom Brady one, I'm a little surprised, kind of, just because he's a veteran, but I'm not, because if you look at his
he's on pretty veteran heavy.
Yeah, he's got Henry, Adams, Jones, Thielen. He's not exactly going with like young guys. He's just he's trying to win now.
He just wants to make it to year 2. That's
yeah, he's trying. So Piggy Banks said, great pick, Brady playing into his 50 anyways. Yeah, probably. Jeez, Brady he's inhuman, so immortal, and he's gonna play forever. Okay, let's get to our next pick here then.
Yep.
And let's see. So we just took our third tight end, and there was a guy we actually wanted more than Jonnu, but because we were banking on X Factor taking a quarterback tight end combo, if he had not done that, who knows? But we figured that's exactly what he would do, so we took our chances. Anyways, we're going to go running back, and it's pretty much the last running back we really care about left on the board.
Yeah, it's the last one that's going to be guaranteed any touches at all, honestly.
Let's go with the backup. Yeah, totally. So I'm just going to scroll over here and just until we find him. Look how far down.
Oh, he's in like 2.
Oh, I know. I just want everyone to see how far down we're having to scroll for this guy. Goodness gracious.
And I want him to understand, not only do we have to scroll this far for him, but we shouldn't have to.
Yeah, this is stupid.
No, not Johnson James. That's a good guess. But we're going after him even.
Jeez. How far down is this thing, man? So you just look at here. Here he is. There's Gus Edwards way down at 233. His ADP, I guess, in here is 220. Okay, stupid. We're going Gus Edwards, who will actually get some carries this year.
Yeah. We'll get quite a few with him and Dobbins together, and no Ingram. Are you kidding me? Give me a handful of guaranteed touches every week. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck?
Or a bye weeks cover. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so far down the list that he's easy to kind of forget there. So at this late in the draft, that's, I'd say, good enough value there.
Yeah, totally.
And again, someone else can't have him. So yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I mean, we needed another running back anyways. We only had 2. So we needed one more in case of some injuries or, like I say, bye week, whatever. We don't know what the bye weeks are. The schedule don't come out till Wednesday, so
yeah,
we're kind of winging it right now. But what if all 3 are on the same bye week? Wouldn't that suck?
Yes, that would suck hard.
That would be so wrong.
That would suck really hard. Okay, so I want to. We'll do that here in a second. Let's kind of recap really quick now that our turns are past. We're definitely not picking again. You think we'll pick again tomorrow? I don't know if we'll pick again. We'll probably pick again tomorrow. It's picked up a little bit on pace. We've picked our picks every day. I feel like we get our 2 picks.
Yeah.
About every evening is about where we get. So these are picking up a little bit just because they're not as not decisive. That's not they're just dart throws, right? So there's not as big of effect on who you're taking, essentially. So
right.
The consequences are less.
Real quick, before we do the recap, you mentioned picking tomorrow or not. Regardless of picking tomorrow, we do have something else on the slate tomorrow. Do we want to go ahead and mention that here or tomorrow night with Brandon?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for it, man.
We actually got a friend of ours who is in the Roll Tide League, is in another Dynasty League with some other friends of his. And he's going to come on tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central Time, same as tonight. And we're going to go over his roster. He got a trade offer a couple of nights ago and was asking us about it. And so we invited him to come on here, share his screen. We can kind of go through that offer and then go through the rosters and see kind of if there's another better trade.
Yeah, so this is something that we've wanted to do. We were going to do it in the future of inviting, some fans on or something like that, some followers, bring them on and help them out, help them out on camera and kind of do with them like what we show here with us playing and going through, looking for trades, looking through information and research and stuff. So I'm excited to do this. He was asking us about it, and he has a pretty interesting situation. He has some firepower and kind of an upper hand in some trades. And so we just invited him on and said, hey, will you share your screen? Come on and let's find you a good deal because you have the opportunity to get one done here. So he was really excited about it.
So are we.
So yeah, I'm super pumped to get him on here and have him share his league and go through what his team looks like, what some other people's teams look like, and send out some trade offers. Try to help him out there, try to navigate some of that. So yeah, I'm excited for that big time. I had forgotten that was tomorrow. I forgot what day of the week it was right now. Like I'm having a hard time remembering right now what day of the week it is. So it is Monday. So
I forgot to send. If you want to get started on the recap, I have to send Tanner this link. I forgot to send him when we first got on. I told him I'd send it to him.
Cool.
So I'll be right back with you here in just a second.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so Kyle thinks we left off with Prescott, so we'll kind of start from there. Evan Thielen went right after that. Nope, that Evans went right before that. Sorry, Prescott. We are headed the other direction. See if I can get my crap straight here. So Devontae Smith went right after that, and Johnson. These are when some young guys really started to go. Then we went on a little bit of a quarterback run, which we kind of suspected once we picked Prescott. Kind of like Kittle, we kind of expected a little bit of a tight end run. Didn't get as big a one as we thought. And then we picked Dak, and that actually did kick off a little bit of a run there on quarterbacks that we were expecting. So got a couple really young picks in there, which are really good picks, in my opinion. And then got a little bit of a quarterback with Jackson, Hurts, and Herbert. I was really surprised to see, honestly, even Jackson, but definitely Hurts go before Herbert. I thought Herbert would go before them. But all three of those are good quarterbacks, good dynasty prospects. And yeah, I think those were good picks. Akash is now on the clock. Sorry, I'm going to cut away from that. And he says, who should I go here? And I agree with Omaha. He says, go Drew Brees. But actually, I disagree with that. I think that's a bad move. Looking at your roster, you might want a good flex play here. And you can go the same strategy as us, taking another tight end. And I think one was signed today. It's a sneaky pick. And I think you can go Tim Tebow. I think Tim Tebow is going to put up some good fantasy points. He put up good fantasy points back when he was QBing for the Broncos for me. I had him on my team because he put up good fantasy points. So I think he'll do the same at tight end. Oh, I think you messed up. I think you picked the wrong tight end. You went, Freiermuth? Like, Tim Tebow was right there in your grasp, my man. Woo. No, I don't think that's a bad pick at all right there. I mean, rookie picks are always a little bit risky, but I think that's a good pick. Piggy Bank says, finally, baby Gronk. So I don't hate that pick there. I think Tebow would have been better, but whatever. Okay. So going back up here, after the little bit of a quarterback, bam, 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 we hit Juju. And then Miles Sanders, the meme of the league at the moment. Well, not right now, I guess. Once he got picked, we stopped picking on the guy. But
Honestly, at
Yeah.
that place, he was a good value. Like, I know everybody was teasing each other about who's going to take him, but there, like, if you pass on him, honestly, you're getting kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I
mean,
agree. No, I totally agree. I think that's fantastic value right there.
even with all the
for
other
Miles
running
Sanders.
backs there, he's still going to get some touches every game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's giving him crap, but I think that's a great value right there for sure for Miles Sanders.
Gosh, don't come in here with that Powell stuff again, man.
Make us come over there with that.
Mm.
Okay. So then after that was Andrews, which I think is fine there. I mean, when you're in need of a tight end, he's definitely on that. I'd say second tier, third tier, possibly into the second tier, maybe. That's a toughie, but he's still one of the top ones. It's like more guaranteed. He's kind of a boomer bust just because any receiving option in that offense is. But I think when you're looking at like top tight end options and Waller, Kelsey, Kittle, and Pitts are already gone, I think Andrews is right there at the next in line. So, and then of course we go Claypool, Golladay, Chark, Waddle, and then yet another tight end goes with Hawkinson. So people are starting to feel the heat here on those tight ends a little bit. Turn around with Joe Burrow, nice young quarterback. He's fine. I mean, I think he's good. I don't know that he put up the fantasy points while he was playing to make it super special. He had one game over 30 and 2 over 20. I mean, I don't know that that's fantastic. I think from a real life perspective, Joe Burrow is great. I don't know that he put up fantasy points to my liking though, but
Not yet. He was a rookie.
yeah, I mean that could definitely change. He's evasive. He's hard to bring down, but I don't know if those translate to downfield yards, rushing yards. You know what I mean? Whereas when you got guys like, when you come down here, Mahomes, Allen, Murray, Hurts, Jackson, Prescott, Wilson, like these guys are picking up extra points with their feet. So, yeah, there's some extra points to be made there. But maybe Joe Burrow now he has more options, receiving options too. So maybe that plays to his advantage.
Kosh,
Next
what are
one
you
is,
talking about? What's Akash talking about now?
I don't know. I see. Oh, let's see. This
Rookie.
23-year-old rookie who don't produce in college puts up top 24 season in fantasy in his career. I'll donate $50 to your favorite charity.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know who he's talking about right now. But
I don't know who he's talking about. We were talking about Burrow.
Maybe he's talking about Powell.
Oh, of course he is.
23. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just talking.
He just said Powell. Yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, fine. Yeah, if you want to donate, that's fine. Anyway.
I mean, we took him at what pick overall? 715. So we're talking like really late.
I didn't see anybody after him taken that I wanted more. So it is what it is.
Maybe Anderson, but he's old. Like, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Noah Fant. I think he's good. I think his quarterback play suffered, but now if Aaron Rodgers somehow ends up with the Broncos, good Lord. I mean, I passed on every receiving option in Denver, and if the tides somehow change between now and then, I'm going to be really sad, disappointed in myself that I didn't pick up any of them, really. So, yeah. Let's see. Then Josh Jacobs. I think this is really good value here. I think that's a great pickup. It's in fact, we were looking at Jacobs on our next pick, but it takes so long to get yet another pick that we didn't stand a chance. I mean, So, I mean, he's young and he's not going away. He's not just disappearing. So
he'll lose some touches, but he's not retiring. Jesus.
Yeah. In fact, it's probably it's going to extend his career, not being the workhorse running back. I mean, he's getting a ton of touches. So it's too much. It's going to wear him down way too fast. So it's probably a good move for his career to bring someone else in. It doesn't help us fantasy wise. I understand that, but it makes him a better dynasty prospect because he'll last longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Trevor Lawrence, fine. He'll probably do fine there.
This next
Jerry
pick is where
Jeudy.
I was a little surprised. Jeudy going ahead of Sutton, who went 4 picks later.
Yeah.
I prefer Sutton.
I prefer Sutton's, his play style. And
I think most
places,
people
but
do. So that was a little shocking, but
Showtime knows something. Maybe Showtime Cadets knows
maybe
something.
is he a Broncos fan?
Maybe. But I mean, again, you mentioned him and Sutton here taken pretty quick. Man, if Aaron Rodgers ends up there, God, what a good value that was. Jeez.
I know, it's like all of a sudden Fant, Jeudy, and Sutton all just boom, boom, boom right here.
That must have been news when Aaron Rodgers news came out then of like possibly signing with the Broncos, probably, or something like that. And everyone went, sweet, got him. So, but then Cup, Gaskin went in here.
Another good value. Another really good value.
Great value. Yep. And then Hunt, Kareem Hunt went right here. Man, these were some heartbreakers, man, because this was another big target. We were wanting to run him back, and it was down to, Jacobs, Gaskin, Hunt. And then they just went kind of quick in here. Bam, 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 in the round that we were looking to pick one of them up.
Yeah, Hunt and Sermon were two that we were really hoping one of them would fall.
Well, yeah.
And they both went before we picked here.
Yeah, Sermon was another one on our list there. So, yeah, that was a rough round to sit there and watch. And then Russell Wilson went here. But by the time it got to us, we were still wanting a running back. And there was pretty much maybe 2 running backs to us kind of worth picking up, especially here at this time. So we went with the one that can help us out. Right meow, probably the most.
Yep.
And that was Mike Davis. We picked him up late in our other draft too. I mean, this is number 79 overall pick for an RB1. Yeah, he's definitely a short-term help here. 1, maybe 1.5 years, 1 for sure. But
yeah,
we're not trying to be a one and done team here. We're trying to be in the league next year too. So, even if he's a 1-year rental, that's a good 1-year rental, I feel like, to get us through. Again, RB1, and you still got to flex. We have 1 running back spot, but you still got to flex. And to me, that's a great flex option right there. And then you've got bye weeks, injuries, things of that sort that you have to cover. So, I mean, if you look over here at like a therapist on his bye week, he's got Dobbins. But his bye week or injury, his next up is Dylan and Drake. So we didn't want to get in a situation like that. No offense, therapist. I'm just saying. Just didn't want a situation like that. Or even X Factor here. I mean, you got Derrick Henry. Woo! But then your next option on a bye week or injury is Edmonds. Could be worse, but could be a lot better. So I think we got a good second there for sure, just in case, because anything can happen. So, all right, and then right after Davis was Thielen and Edmonds. I think Thielen, I mean, that's fine. He's a little bit older. What is he? 30? Yeah. So again, this X Factor has gone for kind of a win now, a little bit more veteran look here. He's getting some good players at good prices because of it. When some of these, there's a lot of youth. The youth goes really quick in this league. So these guys are really playing it out for the long run. So everyone's pretty confident they're going to be in it longer than a year. Yeah,
you can tell a lot of teams have really attacked youth. I think the one that's done the best job of it, though, is probably Smitty with the Fantasy Football Show. He got Metcalf, Diggs, and Allen in the first 3. He grabbed 2 rookie running backs, which are, both going to be really solid guys for him. And then another rookie receiver, a real young tight end, rookie quarterback, and another rookie running back. Like, this guy is stacked in, like, really, really young guys.
Yeah, he's got a good team for quite some time now. Let's go through some of these rosters here in a minute because I do want to cover some of these rosters and kind of where they sit at the moment. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because now we're getting down into some not quite as important.
They're not
here.
quite as sexy, these picks.
Yeah. So. Now we get down to the round 6 and it's getting a little bit less sexy. Our St. Brown pick, we went with St. Brown as our second wide receiver, and I'm super happy with that. We got him on our other one too. St. Brown is going to start at wide receiver there, and I like that. He's got Jared Goff passing to him. I think that's going to be A-okay. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Then Dylan, Bateman, Moore. Yeah, Moore's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to really cover that. Yeah. Boyd. I know this Antonio Brown pick. He was so proud. Alex with Fresh Fantasy, very proud of that Antonio Brown pick. And really, I mean, his thoughts on it are true. I don't like that he's 32, but he made a good point. Like, he could show up this year, show out, and maybe be with another team next year in just a better spot. Maybe not their number 3 wide receiver, but at age 32, I don't see that happening. I think he's going to always be down on the depth chart at that age. Plus, he's a nutcase, and he can screw up his entire career at any second. So I don't trust that by any means.
Totally agree with that.
Then Deebo Samuel. I like Samuel. Lockett, like it.
Lockett's a pretty good value this late.
Yeah. Here's where I started getting sad, though, is where Trey Lance went.
Trey Lance
this early. Yeah. That kind of hurt my heart, man. I like Trey Lance a lot. And so that I didn't see him going this early. What's funny is Fantasy Feud here got Trey Lance and Matt Stafford as his 2 quarterbacks so far, and that's exactly what we did in our other league. That's the exact pairing we got. So found that kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I like Trey Lance there a lot. I think he at least gets some playing time this year and gets to develop a little bit. So smart to pick up Stafford later to cover for him until that happens. I think that was a really, really good move. Then Marshall went here, Carolina wide receiver. Then Deshaun Watson.
Someone was going to take a chance on him eventually.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it as someone's number 1 in this early, but at the same time, you got to get your guy when you can, because I don't know if he would have made it to.
I was going to say, he can still, even this round, grab a veteran to cover.
Yeah, here's my problem, though, with this pick. My problem with this pick is that Goddard was there at tight end, and he still needed his tight end. I would have taken my tight end first, because Deshaun Watson would have made it to his 7-5, in my opinion. That would have been a chance I would be willing to take, especially not 100% knowing what Deshaun Watson's situation is.
Right.
That I would have probably taken my tight end, and Goddard was one of kind of 2 that were kind of at the top of the list at this point, with him and Higbee. And so, yeah, I probably would have done that, but that's me. And if it's, Watson,
I think Goddard would have been a better pick there as well.
If Watson would have been there later, I would have picked him up. I don't know if I would have picked him up my number 1 and before that tight end pick right there, because you can get another quarterback, in my opinion. But hey, you do you, boo boo. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So then Goddard went next. I think that was a good pickup.
Yeah, and then I'm not surprised at all that Omaha grabbed Fields here.
No, me neither. I'm not at all. And Fields is, if he's not their starter in the first game, he is their second game.
Yeah.
As a Cowboys fan, I can tell you Red Rocket ain't worth it. And why? Why even waste your time with him?
Exactly.
Get Justin Fields in there.
Yep.
Granted, Fields doesn't seem too excited to be there, but hey, get him on the field. So Odell Beckham went next. I think that's good value right there.
I like that pick.
He's still athletic. They'll figure it out. Will Fuller, not a bad pick there either.
If he stays healthy, it's a great pick.
If he stops doping up.
Yeah, that too. But
Curtis Samuel went here. Don't hate that pick.
No, especially if he can
Aaron,
recreate what he did in Carolina.
yep.
Rodgers was a pick that was similar to what we talked about with Watson. A lot of risk there to be your number one QB.
Yeah, but not. I mean, I guess if he retires, if he's playing in Green Bay or playing somewhere else, as long as he's playing, you're getting some good stuff out of him. I don't hate it as much because he had Fant already. I will hate it.
But what if
I will hate it if he goes to Denver and then he's throwing the Fant. I'm gonna hate Big League for that. But
what if he chooses to go host Jeopardy full time? Like, you don't have a quarterback now. If you're Big League Fantasy.
yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, if
he'll pick up a quarter. He'll pick up another veteran down the line here. He's playing that game, and I'm fine with that.
How good is he going to be?
I mean, there's a lot of good veterans out there right now. There's a lot.
But to burn that pick,
yeah, it's an early pick
on Rodgers.
It's an early pick on that.
That's the point. Just like with Watson, like for me, it's too much risk that early, and to be my starting QB.
I mean, I guess I'm looking at the picks that come after this. Like you said, we're out of the sexy picks, so really, I mean, I don't think it's as bad as like the Watson pick, maybe. You know what I mean? Because he already has his tight end stuff. Like, he didn't really miss out on much, in my opinion, by taking that pick. You know?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right. There's not
especially since he was able to at his 8th round pick up Melvin Gordon down here. I mean, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Cadets had another option since he didn't have a tight end, but I guess at that point he didn't really have another option.
No,
he could have taken Robinson maybe if he needed another running back, but he really didn't.
No, he really didn't. He's doing fine up there with Etienne and Cook and stuff. So I don't hate that. Then Omaha took Higbee. Not really a surprise there. James Robinson, Elijah Moore, Gainwell, Pittman.
Bunch of dart throws now, honestly.
Yeah, Mooney. Landry, I think, is a decent pickup here. I mean, that's fine. Just get that.
I like the Pittman pick. I think he's got a lot of upside.
Yeah, I like Pittman too. Landry was fine. Damian Harris, okay. We got another A. Rodgers there in Green Bay. So that's not going to be confusing for anybody, you know?
Yeah.
Then Tonyan went, which was funny because
I liked Tonyan. I liked the pick. And it caught a lot of flack in the Insta chat, which I thought was a little funny considering who made the pick.
Yeah.
Smitty's very experienced. He's not going to make a stupid pick. So I liked it. He liked it.
And honestly, like the options
he
are slim
gets a lot
here.
of flack for it for whatever reason.
I mean, the options are slim here. So at this point, he did wait late to take a tight end. And I mean, you can tell by the rest of his roster that he did. The rest of his roster is pretty strong. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Okay. And then moving on, Connor Drake. And then we took Powell. And we were catching flack for that, apparently. But it's funny because I had other people telling me that was a amazing pick there, great value.
Yeah.
And other people mad because they wanted him on their next turn, you know, on their next pick. So
I heard more positive than negative.
Definitely. But so here's the thing with Powell. Like, he's going to be the number 2 wide receiver because that spot's wide open. The number 3 receiving option. But that's fine in that offense. I'll take the number 3 receiving option. Fine.
Yeah. He might be a little feast or famine every week, you know, but for a flex, who cares?
Yeah, I'm not super worried about it. We needed some youth on our team here, you know?
Totally.
So these
now we have 2 rookie
young guys.
Receivers.
Now we have 2 rookie receivers that have the possibility to make a year 1 impact. So next was Moss, then Corey Davis, and then that's when we took Irv Smith. We took our second tight end there before a lot of people had their first tight ends. So as you can tell by all the orange right after people started panicking a little bit, I feel like
a little bit of a tight end panic to set off.
Irv Smith is 22 years old.
Another young, super athletic, talented guy that now with Kyle Rudolph shipped off to New York, he's got a big time chance to make an impact there.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that pick. It's another young tight end. Like you said, with Kyle Rudolph out of there, ooh, sign me up. I mean,
Yeah.
At this point in the draft, it's a good dart throw. I mean, you never know. I mean, he's shown that he can put up some points and produce in a couple games. He missed a lot of games last year. He missed a lot. What, like 5 games? So, yeah, who knows how that can go down. Then Gesicki went, Henry, and then Smitty picked up Zach Wilson. Man, these young quarterbacks are going so early because me and Kyle also talked about Zach Wilson. I think he's going to step in and be the starter right away. He already has Josh Allen. Now he has Zach Wilson. I mean, pretty solid. I like his youth is really good. I think he picked up some smart youth on his team.
Yeah.
Then Brandon Cooks. See
what he comes up with for this pick he's on the clock for, though.
yeah, me too. Brandon Cooks went, and then Robbie Anderson. Me and Kyle had discussed Robbie Anderson at length, and just decided against him just because of his age. We wanted some more youth. Figured we needed a little bit of youth on our team, but Robbie Anderson is going to be legit with a new quarterback in town. I mean, he did good with a lesser quarterback talent there. He's got a better quarterback coming in. I think that's going to help him quite a bit. So I think he's sitting pretty for, another 2 years probably. And then he's probably kind of done. Ruggs, fine. Fournette, I mean, not bad value this deep down, honestly. Mims, another young wide receiver that's good. Brown, Pollard, would have liked to have Pollard on our team. There's potential there.
Pollard went a little earlier than I anticipated he would.
Yeah. But same, especially to a team who already had 3 running backs.
But I understand
get their 4th running back. Absolutely, because Pollard, I mean, he may move on from Dallas and get a good spot somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yep, I like that. I mean, he's 24 years old.
Well, I mean,
been in a backup role and shows what he can do.
If Zeke misses time, he's an instant stud on that team.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He proved that last year in the one game that Zeke missed, right? So
absolutely. Yeah, I like that pick a lot there. Tony, I don't know much about Tony. I just know there's a lot of mouths to feed over there in New York, and nobody knows who's playing and whatnot there.
And
so I'm staying away from.
And Daniel Jones is not that good.
Right. Yeah, I'm staying away from that whole situation. And then Parker, I like Parker. I like Gordon.
For me, like Devontae Parker's kind of in a similar situation. Like, is Tua good enough to make that many receivers relevant? With Fuller, Parker, Waddle, like they got Gesicki, another tight end they just drafted. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah. When did Tua take over last year? Do you know?
Bye week. Whenever that was. It was over the bye week. I remember it was shocking because everybody thought Fitzpatrick was doing great, and then they just benched him anyways.
Yeah, so all but week 12 after week 8. So let's just see. I mean, granted, things have changed now. The outlook there has changed. But week 8 forward, with exception to week 12, because this was not Tua with this 18.9. He had 18.1 here and an 18.6 here. The rest were kind of – so he's kind of boom or bust. I mean –
But that was before they got Waddle and Fuller.
Right, that's what I said. His situation has changed.
Yeah, I just don't see it, man.
Yeah, I don't know that the volume will be there, but we'll see.
Tua could surprise me, but I just don't see him throwing at that kind of volume.
Yeah, it's less of a knock on Parker and more of a knock on Tua.
Totally. Because Parker's a super talented receiver, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, and so same thing with Marquise Brown here. Marquise Brown, still amazing talent, quarterback play, like passing abilities and offense is just not there for him.
Totally.
Marquise Brown is killer.
And I think going back up one, I think Gallup will have a much better year this year with Dak back all year as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gallup's going to have a pretty decent season. Yeah, he did. He had some good stuff in here with Poor Dak went down. Yeah, he's gonna be good to go. What a good
flex guy. I mean,
third wide receiver. He had some good weeks in there.
Yeah.
And that's with shoddy quarterback play too. So
for real.
Edwards, okay. Mike Williams, okay. Rager was someone. Rieger.
Rieger, I think, or Rager. It's Rager, I think, is how I've heard it pronounced.
Sure, whatever his name is. We had talked about him, young talent with Hurts coming in. Hurts did pretty well with his receivers and stuff, I guess. I mean, this year might be a little different for Rager. So, yeah, not mad at that pick there. Trotman, we already talked about him. Mostert, maybe good for a little bit, and then I think he gets overtaken by those rookies. I think Mitchell and Sermon both knock him out pretty quick. So, then Matt Stafford went again, paired up with Trey Lance. Then Hardman, Eskridge, maybe in the future. Hard to say what he'll be worth. Collins in Houston. I ain't trusting no one in Houston.
Collins is going to be good if Watson plays.
Right.
He'll make an impact if Watson plays. If Watson doesn't play, you'll never hear Nico Collins called this year.
I'm sorry. I don't think anyone knows this. I'd be surprised if James knows this. Who the backup quarterback is down there. Do you know who the backup quarterback for the Texans is? I think we'll be surprised when we see it. I think I do, but I can't think of it.
Somebody in to.
Oh, it's Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, I would not have guessed that.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I did too. Ryan Finley was who I was thinking, but Tyrod Taylor, I didn't even. Finley, that didn't cross my mind.
I completely forgot about Tyrod. Wow.
That still doesn't make me feel better about the pick. I'm just saying
that's a good point, Akash. I forgot they drafted a guy too, which nobody was excited about.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching that draft live.
I'm gonna give Akash some props really quick. Sorry, I think he knew Tyrod before we scrolled down on that.
I was watching the NFL draft live on NFL Network, and when they took Davis Mills, the looks of surprise / terror on all of the commentators' faces when they took that guy cracked me up. Like, I've never laughed so hard at the draft in my life, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I actually didn't see it, but
I forgot what Rich. I forget his last name. Like the head guy on NFL Network, he was just like, "Why? What?" I was just like, "Wow,
that's funny."
Oh, we got another pick made here. Smitty took Madison.
Yep. Okay. I was gonna get there on our turn because we're almost done with this, so we'll get to it. Okay. So Kmet, then Elijah Mitchell. Do what?
I said, don't mess with the boss's flow here. Sorry.
We're so close to it. We got to get this recap done. It's taking so long. It's just taking as long as one person's pick. So, anyways,
that's true. We did the whole recap while he was making that pick.
Yeah, and that was a quick pick. I feel like for
Smitty it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kmet, then Elijah Mitchell, Tua. I mean, that's his second quarterback. So young. We don't know exactly what he's going to do yet. Didn't put up exciting points last year, but I mean, he was a rookie. Like, it was his first time. We don't know. We don't know what he's going to be like. It's a young talent who is a guaranteed starter. So, sure. I mean, everyone wants to root for Tua. Everyone likes Tua, right? So
he's a good guy. I just don't know what to expect from him in a full year starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he's had time to help figure things out. No one knows. I mean, it's hard to go off of these PP, like his points last year. I mean, he didn't put up great ones by any means, but he was just kind of thrown in there. It probably surprised him just as much as it did everyone else.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell? You're putting me in? Why? So, yeah, he was probably just as surprised as everyone else, but yeah, I don't know. Just not super excited about him, I guess. That's why I'm kind of nervous about his receivers. Like, he's got some good receivers, but are they gonna get anything? I don't really know. I think that's just a big question mark. But Yeah, that's what we said, Akash. Like it's your second quarterback, so really, like, why not take the chance? Yeah, when you have Mahomes, like Tua's going to sit your bench. He might play him on that bye week, and it's worth taking a shot because he's a guaranteed starter and he's super young. So might as well.
Does he really have any less upside than a Trey Lance or Justin Fields? I mean, I don't think so. I think he's got the same chance to succeed as they do.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you might as well. And this late into it to get a quarterback young like that.
Because you prepare differently when you're already the starter. Like last year, he was preparing as a backup. Fitzpatrick was the starter. I mean,
like I said, he was just thrown in there as the starter all of a sudden.
I think you prepare differently, not just on the field, but mentally and everything. Another year in the system, like
when you're working with second team guys or you're working with first team guys, I mean, you're building a rapport, with players and stuff, and you're getting that. I mean, that timing down and things like that. And if you're not practicing with the first string, you're not getting that as much. You know what I mean? So,
right.
So I am curious to see Tua, to see if he does better this year. I'm rooting for the guy. I like Tua as a person.
Yeah.
So, so I'm rooting for him. I ain't got nothing against Tua. And he was hurt last year. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I agree. Oh, Smitty joined us on here. Smitty, we're about to cover your last pick here in 1 second. So, cool. So we got Tua, then Davis, fine. And then we went with our third tight end, which we already talked about there. So, skipped ahead. We talked about Fryman. Oh, yeah. So we've talked about everyone but Smitty's crappy Madison pick. No, I'm just playing, Smitty. No, I'm just I couldn't help but take it. Now I don't know what Akash has to say about it. But
he's over there. He's over there on Insta. Tell him when I was on his Insta stream earlier, I was loving the rant he went on.
Oh yeah. So Kyle is on YouTube here with me, and he loves your rant about the young guys in the league that you went on there. He loved your little rant about that because we kind of went on a little rant with us about that last night, and then Smitty says, I don't care what anyone says about it, LOL. So dude, I actually like the pick, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, I don't dislike the pick. Yeah, so I see a request to be live on here, the NFL CFBD Daily, but it's going to mess with our audio if I do that, so not really prepared to do that since we're streaming on YouTube and Facebook over there, and whatnot. So, yeah, sorry, going to have to not do that, but I would love to at another time for sure. So, or was it Clubhouse? I don't know what Akash said. Oh, me and Smitty discussed handcuffs ad nauseum on Twitter. So good. But yeah, so Alexander Madison, I mean, at this point you're just getting that. And if Cook goes down, bam, nailed it, Thanks, Daily. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that, man. Yeah, Smitty, actually, I was looking over our rosters and kind of comparing earlier. We've talked about your roster quite a bit on this stream right here because we were talking about how you've got really good young talent. You've got, just the youth on your team, but it's useful youth. Not really necessarily the dart throws that some of these others have of like, gosh, this guy's supposed to be really good and hopefully he takes over later, in a year or two and stuff. I mean, you've got like this youth that's just it's useful now. And so, I think you've structured that team really good. But what I was doing earlier was I kind of put our rosters side by side, and maybe I'll put this up. I was thinking about putting this up on Instagram for tomorrow for people to vote on kind of our starting lineups up next to one another. And I don't know. I feel like our odds are pretty good on the side by side.
I still don't forgive him for the Sermon pick though.
Oh yeah. We don't forgive you for the Sermon pick at all. He was our target there, and you kind of sniped him from us because being OU fans, University of Oklahoma, we are still Sermon fans. Preach. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, good pick there. We picked him up in our other dynasty
longer.
league, and we're really happy with that pick. And we were hoping to get him again over here, and you took him from us. So, Smitty says that Madison can win a league. I mean, yeah, if Cook goes down,
sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. There's a couple good. I mean, same with Pollard. If Pollard gets his chance, if Zeke goes down, same thing. He can win a league. I mean, there's some really good backups in the league that can win you in the dynasty champ. So
one that hasn't been taken yet. Should I mention him?
No, you shouldn't. Keep that. Okay, so Daly says my best fantasy sleeper is Mooney. Thoughts? What are your thoughts on Mooney, Kyle?
I mean, I don't know. I like that Daz Newsome kid they just drafted. I don't know a whole lot about Mooney. Like, I know he's talented, but we haven't seen a whole lot of him. He was supposed to be I mean, he was pretty highly touted last year, yeah? Going into the season, and then he didn't really do anything? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Mooney, if I'm being honest. So he's in a deep sleep. That's a real deep sleep on the sleeper there. We're not claiming to be experts, so you lost us on that one. Sorry.
Oh, I was thinking of Anthony Miller. My bad.
Oh, you're thinking of Anthony Miller. Got it. Yeah, I don't know anything about Mooney.
Darnell Mooney. I mean, like, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody like screaming from the mountaintops about him or anything like that. Like, yeah,
I mean, Darnell Mooney he's not even in the sleeper act. Like,
yeah, he's already been drafted. He was
oh, has he? When?
7.8.
Jesus, I missed that. Oh gosh, he's way back there.
Like, I
don't even find him. Got it.
Yeah, like I've not like whenever what year is he? So he's a sophomore. So like I didn't see a lot. Like I didn't see a ton of people touting him when he was drafted. Necessarily. I didn't see a whole lot of stuff last year around rookie drafts and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I just don't like a sleeper is a good word for him because if he does anything, it'll kind of be like, oh wow, okay, not like, yep, knew it,
Yeah. I think you might be the only one that's has him as your sleeper, but yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think it's out of the question. Now that I'm reading up on him and stuff, I mean, it seems he's just not on my radar.
He's not going to be a top 20 guy.
Nah, I don't think so anyway, either. Okay, well,
he could turn into a really good flex. That's probably about his cap. Yeah.
Smitty says he wanted Pollard or Madison. Yeah, I agree. I think both of them are great to have. Okay, so a couple more picks here. Just went Zach Ertz. I mean, it's a second tight end, so I guess that's fine, but I don't know how it's going to go. Yep. Then the next one after that was Palmer, who was our next target. Granted, he went we would have had to get him way down here. We didn't stand a chance.
Pretty much no chance he made it back to us, but it still hurts
he would go.
That he went.
Yeah, it definitely, we feel that one. We got him in our other league, and we wanted him in this one too. I think Josh Palmer is a great pickup here. I'm just not happy about him being gone. So sad day, real sad day. Man. Yep, I think that's a good pickup. Good job, Fresh. Okay, let's see. Akash. I want to go back. Oh, hold on. There's one up here that I wanted to cover from James really quick. I saw earlier. Smitty needs a week 1 running back. I meant to talk about that earlier. We were going over Smitty's roster.
I think he has it in Carter.
You think he has in Carter? Maybe.
Yeah, I think he has it in Carter.
I think it's a risky though. I think it's a risky week 1 running back, but yeah, I think you're probably right.
But I think he's still going to be a starter week 1. But I mean, when you look at the rest of his team, like if that is his weakest thing, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
if that's his weak spot on his team, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not even on here anymore. We're talking about his team again. He's not even on here anymore.
No, that's fine. So Omaha, I don't know if you're still over on YouTube or not, but we just talked about Smitty needing that number one. Okay, I'm going to catch up on Akash really quick. Akash has said
he wanted us to rate his team
as usual. No, I'm kidding.
He wanted us to rate his team too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go through his team really quick. Akash, your team. Ooh. Okay.
Not a fan of your running backs.
Yeah, I mean, waited a little too long on running back maybe, but the rest of your team reflects that. Like, Hill, Mahomes, Ayuk, Johnson is pretty nice. That's young, great talent. I like those first 4 picks.
Yeah, I mean, and you said rate 1 through 10. I'd probably give it a solid 7.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going, was a 7. That's what I was thinking. And mostly for me, that's a running back and then a question mark at tight end. The running back situation I don't love, and the tight end situation is a question mark for me because Henry could end up being good there. Farmouth could end up being decent there. Like, it's hard to say.
I disagree with Akash on that last statement. Better than Smitty's running backs? I don't think so. Maybe immediately right out of the gate. I
disagree too.
Right out of the gate, maybe for a couple of games. But honestly, Carter's going to he's going to be the starter there. They have nobody else there to be running back. And then Sermon will take that backfield over by midseason at the latest. So
yeah,
I couldn't disagree more with your statement on running backs there.
Because, like, Jones, for me, Jones still has to deal with Fournette. And also Vaughn they talk big on. Now they brought in Geo too. Like, gross, man. That's just a situation I want to stay away from. And so if he's just the guy, then great. But I don't know. And then Connor, let's see. Connor is a pure opportunity guy who will stop me from being eliminated. Rojo is the best running back there. It could be a top 24 guy. No, I agree. He's probably the best running back there. If you want some youth, I mean, yeah. I mean, looking through the running backs taken after him, between him and Mike Davis, I actually would have picked Davis first, probably even over Ronald Jones, just because there's no trust there.
Yeah, I would 100% take Smitty's top 2 running backs over your top 2 running backs.
I 100% agree with that.
Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, nobody knows. There's no way to know 100%.
I mean, it's an opinion, wrong, yeah.
But for me, I would 100% rather have Smitty's than yours.
Yeah, not only just for short term, mostly definitely long term, but I think short term too. But agree, after Sermon went, Jones was probably the best pick there. With Hunt and Gaskin and Jacobs all going before that. I mean, you just waited a long time on a running back, but you would have missed out on great wide receiver talent if you didn't. So, I mean, you were kind of between a rock and a hard place. What are you going to do? Yeah. And then running backs just started flying off the board after that with Carter, Sanders, Jacobs, Gaskin, Hunt, Sermon. Like, they just flew off the board, off all that talent. I mean, that's out of your control. Nothing you can really do about that. So, yeah, here's what it is. And running back by committee, I mean, you did the same. You got the lead back in a running back by committee. I mean, he's the starter technically, but we just named 4 running backs that kind of had the same situation in Tampa. Honestly, I mean, to me, it's just that's a interesting situation, especially since they keep talking Vaughn up too. So,
yeah, I mean, we can go on in circles with this, but it's your team.
It's a guess.
Obviously, I mean, you do what you want to do, but you have your opinion, and that's it. So,
yeah, I mean, I would say a 7, but that's just because of running backs. I like your wide receivers are super solid. Your quarterback situation is obviously fantastic, and I love having Pat teamed up with Tyreek. I think that's so deadly. Week in, week out, that's just sick. And like I said, then Henry and Freiermuth, I mean, we just don't know. That's just a question mark. So you get dinged a little bit for that, but not big time, just because those could both end up being good. We just don't know. Both could end up being good. We just don't know.
Yeah.
So
I think we're still going to whoop that butt, though, when we see you in the season. So,
yeah. So
enjoy
that's
that.
what's funny. I'm looking, since no picks are being made right now, I was looking through some of these rosters earlier, just kind of looking at these. And, we see like Showtime where he has these really good running backs starting off and stuff. And I don't know. I was just looking even at Smitty's and kind of his roster pulled up next to ours. And it's a little hard here to see it. Just because, I mean, it's not in this like starting roster format, so it's a little hard to see like who he actually has starting and stuff like that versus ours just straight across. But I mean, I like his team, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I kind of like just a head to head there, I think, for this season, because if you look at like Mike Davis, again, we have one season. You know what I mean? So I think for this season right now, I like where we're at, just because we're spread out. Our strength is kind of spread out amongst all of our positions, and we have that big leg up in tight end. So I like those. That's a huge advantage for us, and that's with a lot of these teams. So a lot of these rosters I really like.
There's a lot of really strong teams.
But these ones, I still think when you get to a lot of these teams that waited on their tight end so long, I feel like we just have a big advantage over them.
Yeah. I agree.
Like I like this team. I like the fantasy feud. AJ Brown, Hopkins, Godwin, Sanders, Gaskin, Lance, Pittman. Like, I like this team. They still don't have a tight end. They're going to be essentially playing a player down from the get-go every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have a huge handicap every week. And if they don't pick one in their next two picks, by God, I'm taking another tight end at our 11-15. I swear I will. I'll do it.
Don't test me. I'll do it.
Do not test me. I will take a fourth tight end right there. So, yeah, that's funny. I don't think that's funny. So Akash says, I'll trade for a better running back if I need to. Startups always overvalue running backs, and I try to use that to my advantage. I mean, I agree. They get really valuable. It's because getting running backs is just, they're rare, man. Running backs are so hard. I mean, look how thin it got really quick. That's how you got Ronald Jones. I mean, it got thin so fast. But then James kind of says, I mean, Cadets will trade Monty for Ayuk. Very true. I wouldn't make that trade.
That's a troll. I wouldn't do that in a million years.
but he would. I mean, he absolutely would. Oh, so kind of funny on that. I like how Akash played that off. I think I covered that in another one. When Cadets was like, oh man, I would really like to trade him up for Ayuk. And then Akash came on and was like, oh, that's tough. That sucks. And I was like, oh, it's because Akash also wants Ayuk. And I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, we also want Ayuk. So I'm going to say no to that because he just gave away that he wants the guy that we want. So that's funny on that. So, hey, SB, how's it going? So, Akash, I'll take Ayuk 10 out of 10. Yeah, Cadets did tell me that he'd do that, though. Yeah, absolutely he would. And absolutely you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, you would have to be in such a desperate running back situation. But being dynasty, I would stay desperate at running back.
Yeah,
that is.
I'd roll out zero. I'd roll out no running back in a week before I trade Ayuk for David Montgomery.
Yeah, that is not a thing. So, yeah. I'll trade Ayuk for Monty plus, though. Yeah, better be a good plus.
Like Montgomery Claypool, maybe. But he wouldn't do that. He'd be crazy.
You got Johnson. You don't need that. No. You're good. Stick with Jones.
I'm just saying that's the kind of deal it would take for me to get rid of Ayuk.
Mike Davis on the block.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody want Mike Davis? Come get him.
I mean, Mike Davis is going to serve us well this year. And we might actually get a trade for him late in the league if we're not going for the championship, if we're just kind of in there. But
I will say the other league and this league with Dom running them is the only dynasties I've ever been in that had a trade deadline. So
there's a trade deadline? That's weird. I didn't realize that.
Week 12, yeah.
That's really strange.
Ours won't have a trade deadline. I've never had a trade deadline in a dynasty league. So
no, because if you're trading late going for a championship, you're still feeling the effects of it that next season. It's not like a redraft. So I kind of don't like that at all, actually. That's kind of weird. But it's not our league. Don't really care. It'll be a good change up. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that works. But yeah, if you're making trades that late in the season in a dynasty, you're feeling the effects of it. It's not like those trades we make in those redraft leagues where it's just like.
I think the reason he might have done it in this one, so like the teams that are going to get eliminated don't like unload into the playoffs, which makes some sense.
That actually does make sense. I think that's
some people turn into a bit of a sore loser and they're just like, yeah, screw all this, and they just dump all their players.
I don't see that happening in this league. I think this league is going to be taken too seriously for that.
Yeah,
especially when it's being played for charity. I don't think you want to screw things up.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh yeah, gosh, something will come to mind on those trades once these teams are made. I know that me and Kyle start scouring for trades.
Oh yeah,
possible deals.
Once this draft's done, look out.
Yeah, it's gonna get real gross real quick, but in like a sexy way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Rub my football here. Just rubbing my football for good luck.
Let's see. Is anyone else? I don't. Yeah, no other picks. Go for two's on. I'm curious to see who they pick here.
I'm sad that Josh Palmer went. Almost said Jason.
Look at all these wide receivers. Man, I like go for two. I like their not bad. They're on their first 4 picks. Sutton could be good.
They went with pretty youthful 2 in their first 4 to get Harris, Pitts, and Herbert. Like that's a pretty solid foundation.
Yeah, I like that foundation.
And I like Jones a lot too. He's not quite as young, but I like him too.
Yeah.
Sutton, Debo. He's had a pretty good draft, I'd say.
Yeah. I do want to I kind of go back here, Kyle. I would still say that I'm really glad. We talked about getting the 14, 15, 16 pick. We were really hoping for it, and it worked out in our favor. And just kind of seeing here, I mean, I think it worked out pretty good in our favor. I mean, there's a couple guys here that I would have liked to have, but when it comes back around, like I feel like we definitely would have missed all that talent. I mean, look, we had to. Yeah, I think it worked out good for us.
I think it did too. I'm really, really happy with how our team has turned out. We wouldn't have been able to get the kind of build we have now if we were at the other end of the draft.
Yeah, it seems like. So I've been talking with Alex over here on Fresh Fantasy, and he kind of went with the same approach we did, with going kind of the highest at each position you can kind of get, which just kind of make it as well-rounded as possible.
Yeah.
So where he got, top wide receiver, top tight end, as good a running back that was left right there. Holy cow, they went so fast.
They really
and then he's got a youthful, good fantasy quarterback here in Hurts. And then Woods, he kind of started off, I don't necessarily, I mean, some of these are fine. I mean, I think he's made some good wide receiver picks in here, ones that we had talked about for sure. But he kind of went for that well-rounded too. He was also a firm believer in, if you didn't get a top tight end, gonna struggle.
So did Piggy Banks.
I like Piggy Banks' roster there.
He did the same.
Chubb, Waller, Murray. I'm a huge Murray fan. Again, Oklahoma fan, so love Kyler Murray. Let's see. James over here says, I like the deadline. Kind of creates a gamble to load up if you're pushing to get in. Yeah, it is a gamble. Yeah, I agree. So
With those 3 eliminations every year, it changes things a little bit as far as all that goes.
It does. I like that we have to play a little bit different strategy.
Now, in the other one that we just drafted, like, I don't know why there's a deadline in that one, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Sure. We'll make it work.
All right. I don't know if Go for Two is going to go here, but oh well, we can recap. We'll be on tomorrow night, and we can maybe do like a quick recap here. But again, these picks aren't being super sexy right now, so we'll probably just get in and kind of just do our picks, kind of get out. But tomorrow night we're with our buddy Brandon going through his league. So join us tomorrow night. We'll go through his league and help him try to find. It's our first one where we're bringing an outsider in and having them share their screen and go through there. NFL Full, yes, we will be here tomorrow night. Kyle, were we scheduled for 9 o'clock?
9
Is that right?
Yeah,
9 o'clock tomorrow night. And we'll go through his roster. He'll share his screen. Brandon's going to be there. And so join us over on YouTube, 9 o'clock tomorrow night to see his screen. We'll go through his league, and we will try to help him find some possible trades. It's going to be fun.
Akash, yes. Maybe after the draft, let's get on and do kind of a recap if you want. Maybe grab a couple other people, grab James and maybe one more, and I'll hook up and do kind of a recap and look at highlights and lowlights and who we think will do the best and whatnot. What do you think? I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think Akash should join in there tomorrow too. I think that would be pretty fun.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, he said, "Can I join the show sometime?" Oh, no, yeah.
I was saying
I meant like if he wanted to go through here. Yeah. NFL Full. It's 9 a.m. tomorrow night, or 9 p.m. tomorrow night, Central Time. 9 p.m. Central Time is when we'll be on tomorrow night with Brandon going through his league. So I know he's really excited to get on here and go through that with us and try to find some good moves in his Dynasty League too. So
yeah, gosh,
we'll be going in blind. We have no familiarity with his team or with anyone else in his league. So
yeah, we'll be getting an understanding of his league from scratch and then digging into trades. Akash, It wouldn't be tomorrow; it'd be after the draft. That was a mistake.
Yep, sorry, my bad. I misunderstood. I was having two conversations here.
Yeah.
So cool. NFL Full. Hope to see you there, man. It'd be nice to join us over on YouTube so you can watch the screen and everything and see both me and Kyle talking, and then you can join in and kind of give some of your thoughts on that too. So he drafts wide receivers a lot. We'll see. It looks like he drafts quarterbacks a lot. Just from what I hear. So yeah, we'll take a look at that tomorrow, and you can get the inside scoop on him there too. So all right, guys, I think that's it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you next time, guys.